It's really funny that you were nervous. I can't believe that you'll be nervous. You make so many videos. Like I saw your transition videos. So what makes you nervous about a podcast?
Like, it's a deeper meaning.
Is it, oh, what, how
Well,
so?
not deeper meaning in a bad way. Where to start? I think I associate podcasts with the content house that I was in. And so knowing how that went down and where it went to, then I get nervous, but I also shouldn't, because I want to do a podcast too. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I do social media. I make content, but I still get social anxiety. Like, I get nervous.
That's very interesting. Like, I work with someone, like I work for Tom Bilyeu, and he's a huge personality. Like, so many like views, like unbelievable, and he's still the same.
Gets nervous. Yeah.
But he's really good, and that's very interesting. I haven't met that many people. Usually people who are good on camera or like do a lot of in front of the camera don't have any social anxiety. So it's interesting to meet people that experience that. So how does that feel?
Like, you're like literally, how does it feel? Or...
Yes, like literally, how does it feel? Like, because I don't know what, I guess I get nervous if I'm going, I get nervous before a big shoot because I'm afraid that like we're going to fuck something up, and then.
It's just, yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I know that so many people are watching me at all times that I get scared that I'm going to say the wrong thing, or someone's, because it, obviously people do, even if I mean something with good intent and I say it online, they can flip it and whatever. But I've had a run on social media. Like, I was grinding really hard and got to where I was, and then I moved to LA, lost myself for like 6 months, got into a relationship that was not a loving relationship, and then I was being someone that I wasn't, and then I had to like redeem myself on social media. Not redeem myself, but make a lot of changes. And then you can't just make changes, like you got to show them too. So I was just in a spotlight for all of that. And now I overthink everything.
I see.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Well, I knew that you did content, like you told me, like we met, and then I wanted to do the podcast with you because of the way that you were talking about the book that you were reading, and 75 Hard. And it's like, well, I don't meet very often interesting young women that are reading. So that's what caught my attention. I wanted to do your podcast. I honestly, like, Rhegan, I didn't want to look at your TikTok, your YouTube or anything like that, because I wanted to have a real conversation with you. So I don't know, other than like the video that you showed me with the transitions, I don't know anything else about what you do. I want to find that more. And like when you said that you wanted to start a podcast and all of that, I was super interested because like I'm a podcast nerd. Yeah. So what made you realize that you had lost yourself?
Honestly, social media. Like I have always been very open on social media, from like drinking and smoking to just my business. And I don't tell my business as much anymore because I saw what happens when you do. But like, I forgot the question.
I think the question was, what made you realize that you had lost yourself?
Oh, so then I got into the relationship that I was in, and it was a public relationship. And it was through the content house that I was in. So everyone was nitpicking everything, and my followers were commenting on my videos, and they were like, this is not you. Like, who is this? You're not acting like yourself. And at first I was like, okay, whatever. It's just social media. Like, they're going to say whatever regardless. And I didn't know I lost myself until I found myself again. And I wouldn't say that I found myself again until, honestly, 3 months ago, when just one day I just wanted to change everything. Like, I literally woke up, I stopped talking to my ex, like no contact, just cold turkey, was like, this is enough. Moved into a new place, and then started making lifestyle content rather than just showing the transitions or the cool stuff. Like, I was showing it being hard for me to get out of bed, and then me getting out of bed and still doing these things. So then people, I shifted into lifestyle content because people were like, oh, this is motivating me. And I like that you show the good and the bad, not just the good and not just what everyone sees on social media. So as I leaned into the lifestyle content and people started commenting those things, I just found myself more and more because I was doing things that I was just showing me, like my personality, what I like to do every day, my mindset. Like I would say I'm having a bad day. It's not going good.
Yeah. Is there any specific comment that you remember of someone saying something that really got to you and inspire you?
Just people saying like this motivated me to get out of bed, or I mean, people have even told me that, not to toot my own horn or anything, because whatever, but people have even said like you've saved my life and like you don't even know the amount of help that you've given me. 75 hard challenge. I started that 15 days ago. Today's day 15. I didn't think I was going to stick to it. Honestly, I made a video. This is another reason I like using social media as my way to help myself as well. Like not just help other people, but to hold myself accountable. So day 1 of 75 hard, I was like, yeah, I'm starting this challenge, whatever.
But in the back of your head,
and
you're like,
I'm
yeah,
like, I'm
this
not
is...
doing this. Like, I'm just saying this. And I was like, day 1, I was on my walk and I was like, this is so awesome. It was not awesome at all.
Yeah, 75 is hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's
It's
hard.
a lot.
I did it. My friend, one of my best friends, Abraham, he was the one who got me into it. Funny story, like I was going to start at 75 hard with all my neighbors at the other building I used to live. And then Abraham and I got our other friends to do it, Reggie and Aisha. And then the day we were going to start, we're like, yeah, no, we're not doing it.
That's what I was thinking too.
Then they started doing it, and it was hilarious. Then Reggie and Aisha started doing the challenge, and then Abraham and I, who convinced them, we completely like ignored them and didn't do it. But we did another challenge. Maybe this is a challenge for you for later.
What is it?
We did a challenge that's made up. We made it up. It's called 4x24. So
This sounds difficult.
but it is very difficult. It's one of the hardest things that I've done. But we did it on December 31st at midnight. We went to the ocean and we ran 4 miles on the beach. Went home at 4 a.m. We got up and we ran 4 miles on the street. Went back to sleep. At 8 a.m. we went to we used to work out at the zoo gym. So we went to the zoo and we trained full workout for like an hour at 8 a.m. Then at noon, another full workout. Then at 4, we went back to the beach and ran another 4 miles. We biked 4 miles. Then we went back, we did another full workout. And then we ended up going on a hike to a mountain at midnight and did another 4 miles. So every 4 hours, we had to do a 4-mile run or a full hour, like all-out workout. We were dying.
What do you say? What do you think you took from that?
That anything, no matter how hard it seems to be, you can still do it.
Okay, that's a good takeaway.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
that's
just
a good
have to
takeaway.
like suck it up.
Yeah,
Like, just
and
do
just
it.
put the work in. Yeah,
Yes.
I agree with that. Same thing for 75 hard. Day 1, I was like, oh, God, like I'm not gonna actually do this. And then people were commenting on my video and they're like, oh, I'm gonna start this with you. And I was like, fuck, like I have to do it now.
Yeah.
And then I did day 2 and I was still unsure. I was like, I don't know if I'm actually gonna go through with this, just because it is a lot of work. And but also at the same time, I was like, I do need to build a schedule. I do need to build a routine. I haven't been working out consistently. I haven't been doing anything consistently. Like I do need change. So why not? The more that I posted videos, the more, I think my first 75 hard video actually did really well. It got like 200K likes or something like that.
Wow.
And so a lot of people were like, this is awesome. And I was, yeah, guys.
So
yeah,
now
it
you're
is.
committed.
So now I'm committed. Yeah. And I'm glad that people commented on my video and said that it motivated them, because anytime that I don't feel like doing it, I remind myself like this is a series I have going on and there's 60 days left now. So it's already like a quarter, not a quarter, but a quarter done.
I mean, I think you went through the hardest part. Why do you think sometimes it takes real shit to happen in our lives for us to actually want to take care of ourselves?
It's a great question. I not to bring this up, I actually never talk about it on social media, but I, when I went through my last relationship, it was a year and a half. It was my first love, because I'm 20. Like, I hadn't had a boyfriend before. I hadn't, nothing. My first love, I was like obsessed with him, to the point where he was dragging me down and I was letting him, and I was building him up while not taking care of myself at all, or caring about what I want, or working towards anything that was helpful towards me. And then that quickly backfired on me, because when you give a lot, people like to take a lot, and you have to find that balance, and I didn't have it. But the one day, I do not know why or how, because I was really stuck in it. Like, it was very toxic, and I was not letting myself get out of it. I was like, this is impossible. I can't live without this person. Then one day, I think it was like December 28th, like a month until I moved into the new place, that I was like, I woke up and I was like, I don't care. I do not care. Like, I'm clinging on to this person that does not want to be clinged on to, and throwing myself away in the process. But it took so much hurt and so much, like, I mean, it was bad. I was like crying every night, and wasn't eating. I got really bad with the not eating, that I lost a lot of weight. Yeah, I don't know. One day I was like, I just can't do it anymore. Thank God for that one day. And ever since then, like, no contact, nothing. Like, everything changed. And then I started 75 hard because everything changed, but I still wasn't doing things for myself. It was just, at least I'm by myself and not with someone who's draining me. But then it got to a point where I was like, I'm draining me because I'm not doing anything. So I think that's what really got me to stick with 75 hard. And then also posting videos on social media and having people recognize that I'm happier, and all of that just amplified everything that I wanted to do. So I was like, I'm just gonna like do it all now and say fuck it, and if it happens, it happens, and works out, then it works out, and if it doesn't, at least I tried, you know.
That's really cool. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Those decisions are really hard. I experienced something kind of similar, where I had to, I wasn't as good as you at like cutting things off. So
it took me a year and a half, though, granted.
From the time that you said, okay, this is bad for me, it took you a year and a half to completely. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. We have similar problems then. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. And it's hard. I mean, when
it
you're
is
that
extremely hard.
Yeah, when you're that attached to a person to the point where like you don't know yourself anymore.
Yeah, it's really sad, because you end up doing things that are not good for you.
Out of character too. Yeah.
I realized that I just needed to put myself first. I'm a hopeless romantic.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I really like to be in love. Like, I love being in love. And I got married very young. I got married when I was 21.
Oh, wow. Oh,
yes.
wow.
And
yeah, it puts things in perspective.
Yeah. So very much like about your age.
Yeah.
I was in a amazing relationship, and I got married, and that went very well for many, many, many years. So I hadn't been with that many people or anything like that, you know, like I got married very young and then 10 years later is when things went bad. So then I wasn't used to dating or anything like that. And I didn't want that for my life.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
I'm the same way. I don't like, not that I don't like dating, but I'm a hopeless romantic too. I like having my person and building with that person. I don't like venturing out and.
Interesting. So tell me about that, because usually now, like every podcast that people talk about dating and all that, and I have a lot of episodes where I bring friends and we talk about this.
Yeah.
So tell me your take on that, dating. What has been your experience? Like anything that you want to talk about or that you don't want to talk about?
No. I'll talk. I'll talk because I never get into this side of myself on social media. So it'd be a good start. But dating has always been so rocky for me. I'm a hopeless romantic, and I just have a big heart. And I don't know, in Dallas in high school, I honestly looked for a lot of male validation. But it wasn't in the way of like, I want a guy to validate me. It was in a way of like, I want someone to grow with and to do these things with. And honestly, I was really dependent on a lot of people up until probably 6 or 8 months ago, whenever I was like living on my own for the first time and whatever. But
which, I mean, you're only 20, so
yeah, I've been living on my own in general for 2 years now, 2.5 years.
yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big thing, and it's taught me a lot. Especially, I don't know if I'm sure I can say this. Living in LA, it's hard, but I feel like LA has built strong bones for me, especially in terms of relationships, because I've always been a hopeless romantic. I've always just had a big heart and gave, and I didn't know a boundary of you can't just give someone something. It's supposed to be equal, give or take. And some days one person might be giving 85% and you're giving 15%, or 15%. Can't do math. Or the other way around the next day. But at some point, there's got to be balance. And I've just always been the one on the other side that's
Giving too much.
Yeah, like getting the, low end of the stick. And then living in LA on top of that too, hookup culture is huge. And most of the guys, especially my age and especially doing social media, are not looking for, because they can get any girl they want. Why settle with one person when you can get all of the benefits and you can play games and et cetera, et cetera.
Well, for a guy, when you think about it, if you're a guy in your 20s and you're famous on social media, and I wouldn't recommend him to settle either.
No, and that's why it's built strong bones, because now I'm finally in a stage, now that I've gotten out of my last situation, I'm in a stage where I know that. And so I'm like, honestly, why should I do the same? I mean, I'm so used to being a hopeless romantic that I'm like, this is my time to focus on myself, and I will find the most awesome person ever once I've built up myself. But there's still things that, I mean, one, I also kind of just got out of that relationship like 6 months ago. But two, this is my time to work on myself, because there's a lot of things that I want to give in a relationship that I can't give right now. And like boundaries, I need to make sure I know how to set those before I just jump into something or let someone, I'm really big with energy, let someone get in my energy, even just with friends, not just relationships. I don't know, I feel like I can always, like, you can always tell, like, someone's energy, how they're feeling. You can tell when someone's energy shifts, or also, like, bad thoughts or how you're thinking, that affects your energy. Same thing with other people. If you're around people who think negatively, it's going to affect your energy, and then it's going to throw you off, even if you don't know what they're thinking, or just intent matters. So keeping that in mind, and dating in LA right now is...
Yeah, it's very tricky. Well, one thing that I hope that you take away, don't be afraid to give, though.
Yeah.
Like, don't lose that. Because just because you were given to someone that didn't deserve it doesn't mean that you shouldn't give.
That's true. And I needed to hear that. Thank you. Yeah.
When you give, you're also receiving.
True.
In that case, you weren't receiving the right thing, but that doesn't mean that you should stop giving.
You're right. Yeah.
And that is hard as fuck. Like, it sounds really nice.
Yeah.
Like, you can say it in a very nice way. Fuck that in real life. Like, I feel you, because I felt the same way. Like, I gave someone everything.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't match that.
Yeah.
And then I kept trying to give more, and then
then you realize, like, the giving's not the problem. It's the person doesn't want to give back.
Yes.
It doesn't reciprocate that.
Yes. So the one thing I hope that doesn't happen to you is that you go cold, because everyone says that you go through a breakup. That's what I'm trying
to work hardest on right now too. That's why I'm not ready for a relationship. I mean, granted, if the right person came along, they matched everything, I'd be willing to, like, take on the growing journey, because the right person, I'm going to be able to work on myself and work on a relationship at the same time, you know? So I don't know. I guess I'd be accepting towards dating in LA, but
Do you think the city really makes a difference?
Yeah.
How so?
Yeah, not really. Like, yes and no. No, because everywhere there's gonna be people like that. Even in Texas, when I lived in Texas, guys were like that too. But the city life, in terms of the lifestyle of living in LA, because in LA, I feel like people are constantly trying to prove themselves or put up an act, and it's really hard to. It's also survival of the fittest almost.
Yeah.
Like, LA breaks a lot of people. It's the city of lost souls, or they say it's a city of angels, but it's really a city of a bunch of people
Lost
trying to find
souls.
themselves.
I never heard that one.
I just came up with
You just came up with that. That's pretty good.
things.
So LA is the city of lost souls. That's so
Yeah.
sad.
It is. It is. And LA is beautiful, and I want to keep living here for a good amount of time. But also, people in the social media industry, they move to LA because they get this like insane amount of money through videos, save it up really fast because it's a fast income in general, and then move to LA, don't have a game plan. They just want to party, go to clubs, meet all the people that they're mutuals with on social media, and then they're not realizing that they're throwing their life away and not working on the things that they should be while they're out here, or that they wanted to while they were out here. And then by the time that they realize that they've lost themselves, they're already gone. And there's, I mean, they get depressed here and they're like, oh, I hate LA. And there's this stigma on social media of people saying that they hate LA. But I love LA, and I do the same thing. And I went through the same thing when I first moved here. 6 months, every night, partying, drinking, hanging out with friends for a full 6 months. And then
that will mess up your just from the biology standpoint. That will mess up your brain,
exactly,
your gut health,
exactly,
like your metabolism, everything.
It messes up all areas. My productivity, my consistency, didn't have any. Eating, relationships with people, friendships with people, like there was just so much crazy stuff happening all the time, and that happens when people, or that has been happening with people who moved to LA from social media just so fast. I think I kind of pulled myself out of it, and this is why I say LA has built strong bones for me. I'm so sorry, I keep just...
It's okay, you can tap it as many times as you want.
Cool. Because
no,
luckily...
really, don't tap the
No, I won't. Yeah. I was just like, joking. Okay. But because I wanted to live here for so long already, and I wanted to do what I was doing so long already, that like me blowing up wasn't necessarily luck. Like I really did work for it and put the time and consistency and effort into it. Mm-hmm. And that social media is a really easy way to quickly blow up. You know, you could just post a video and be viral overnight.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because that's not the way you said it. It's not entirely true.
Yeah.
Tell me about your story and how all of that happened, because it's not an easy blow up.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people think that it's like
everyone
and you
thinks.
Can, but even just blowing up off of one viral video, it's not going to get you a long-term group of supporters. You know, you have to put work into it at some point. Okay, here's my story. I started social media in 5th grade.
In 5th grade.
In 5th grade, I don't know. Ever since I got a phone, Facebook was my 10-year-old birthday present. I wanted a Facebook for my 10
when you were 10.
My 10th birthday. I just was always into social media. Like it was just so entertaining to me. And then after like a year of watching it, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to do. Like no one will stop me. Also too, I am very social, even though I like get anxiety and whatever. I like having conversations with people. I like being in the spotlight. I like being able to like set an example and be a leader. So I think that's why I was like, I want to do social media. But yeah, 5th grade, I was making YouTube videos. I had an editing software called Wondershare Filmora. I had like I didn't have like a MacBook or anything. I had like an old school computer, and I was trying to figure it out. I taught myself how to edit, and not like the best about cameras, but what would look good in general, or like what was mainstream. That way I could get good quality. My 7th grade birthday present, Canon EOS T5.
Yeah, Canon.
Yeah. I was like, I wanted one so bad so that I could create content. And so from there on, I was heavily pursuing social media, all from, I started social media in 5th grade, but I was heavily pursuing it. Like I was editing my videos, scheduling them. I had a post schedule starting at 7th grade.
Which is how many years ago?
7, 5, 7, not 5, 7, 8, 9, 7 or 8.
So 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You already had a posting schedule.
Yeah, that's my lucky number too. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm like, it's tattooed on my
I
stomach.
remember.
But yeah, 7 years. And then I got really bullied through high school for it.
For social media?
Yeah, for posting YouTube videos. I lived in a small town in Texas. Honestly, my school wasn't very country, but we were like a suburb right outside of Dallas. The kids it was a bunch of rich kids that if you were indifferent, that was indifferent and not in a good way. And so I wasn't scared to like just post videos and be myself. And then 7th grade, there was this video of these girls this is little blocks of stories.
No, I love it. As you're saying this, my
like
head is like I'm
it.
seeing everything.
Okay, cool. 7th grade, it was on my birthday. My dad took me to these little shops in downtown and like took me shopping. So when I got home, I set up my camera and I was filming a birthday haul and I posted it. And then I posted, I think on Snapchat and Instagram, I was like, go watch my new YouTube video. And I didn't have like a big audience or anything. It was all people who went to my high school that were going to see that. And the 7th grade cheerleading tryout group posted a video on Snapchat of them making fun of my video. They were like sitting in a circle watching it. And then from there on, people knew I had a YouTube. And so that was a discussion every time I saw people, not in a good way. And then...
But not in a good way.
But
that
not
is
in a good
surprising.
way. Yeah.
What were they making fun of?
In the video, I was a kid. I didn't know how to say it, but I was holding up a shirt and I was like, this will fit because I'm petite or petite or however you say it. Like, those are my exact words. And they were making fun of the fact that I didn't know how to say it.
Petite?
Yeah. And then...
But it was girls making fun of you?
Yeah. It was the whole cheerleading team that was like in my grade.
Was that because... I mean, I don't know, but do you think it's because they wanted to have a YouTube channel and they didn't have it? So they...
Like, probably. Or just like finding like the odd person out and then like directing all of their... Yeah. And to make themselves feel like they're all connected and they're cool, like... Yeah. And cool. Yeah.
Who's laughing now?
Yeah, who's laughing now? No, actually, I think... my freshman year of high school, I walked into my biology class, my second period at that time, and they had, as I was walking in, my YouTube video pulled up on the projector in class, and they were all like laughing at me, and I like walked in, like my face got all red, I walked out, privated the video, and it like went off the screen, and then I went back in, and I was like, and I was so pissed at everyone, obviously, because I was like, what the fuck, guys, like, let me do my thing. It's, it's not hurting anyone. And then from there on, just it quickly became a topic of discussion. And so I didn't have a lot of friends in high school because people didn't want to be friends with like the weird girl or like the...
That is so strange that you would be the weird girl because you had a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I would like...
I also had I will say, I also had a really big personality in high school. And so people were talking shit and like, I was dishing it right back out to them. Like I was holding my ground for sure. I wasn't just like, oh, this makes me upset. Like there were some times where I was like, say it out loud. Like if you're going to say it to my face. And I quickly became a target. So, but I don't regret it. And honestly, I'm glad that I was because quarantine rolled around and I started posting consistently. Literally the first week on my mom's birthday, March 23rd, my first ever viral transition video or TikTok video was March 19th. And it was so significant. I like remember the exact timeline, but March 19th was my first ever viral TikTok video. And then March 23rd, which is my mom's birthday, that was my first, TikTok video, transition video. And then March 23rd was my first ever viral video. And so the second that I went viral, I didn't sleep for like a month. I got maybe like...
Just making videos?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not... Like, it was in the palm of my hand. I was like, I'm not letting this go. Like, I'm going to give it my all. And it became really toxic because I kind of developed an eating disorder while I was doing that because there's this viral coffee going around at the time and it was a whipped whipped coffee or something. It takes like 2 seconds to make. So I was making it 4 or 5 times a day to keep myself
drinking coffee
and just drinking coffee
sleeping.
and not eating and not sleeping, because coffee is a stimulant, so you don't feel like you're hungry. I mean, occasionally I'd maybe have like a bag of chips, but that for a month every day, is not good. So I lost like 25, 30 pounds within a month. Yeah. And that was a big thing. And then
what were your parents saying?
That I like was not looking good.
They
were
help you?
Yeah, they were nagging me about it, but I was also wearing like big hoodies, sweatpants anytime
you
that
couldn't really tell.
Yeah, I was hiding it on my part too, like because I knew that they were going to say something, and I was like, I don't want anything to get in my way.
But Rhegan, just eat a burger.
I know, like I should have just ate, right?
Yeah.
I know, I should have. And now it still affects me. Like now I still I like how you said a burger, because the burgers.
Yes.
But
yeah, I was like trying to. Why didn't you eat that day? Like I was trying to. Your burger was there, and I'm like,
I have an actual reason.
Tell me.
So because of that situation, I have now really bad eating problems. Like right now, starting for the 75 hard challenge, I'm force feeding myself like as much as possible just throughout the day. My diet is just to eat.
Eat as much. Yeah, I remember you said that.
Yeah, eat as much as possible.
Is it because you just don't get hungry?
It's a mix of that. It's a mix of, the vape. It's a mix of...
the vape makes you not be hungry?
Yeah, it's kind of like coffee, where it's like a stimulant.
Then they need to market that for
I know,
people
right?
that need
They
to lose weight.
throw it, right? Like throw it out there. But this
That's
definitely keeps me full.
Well, I would have never, like, because I've seen you several times, and I would have never thought that you had any problem eating. Like,
Really?
you look very normal.
Oh, thank you. But also, with that being said, I have no perception of how I look to other people, because the stuff with wanting to blow up on TikTok and starving myself on accident, and then that on top of the relationship I was in and it being super toxic, and activities were involved that made me really insecure. And so same thing, I like kind of was not eating as much. I didn't really care about how I looked. Pushing forward, like, obviously still affects me today, because I'm force feeding myself and I have no perception of how I look. So right now the goal is just gain weight. But
you look great. You look beautiful.
Thank you. But it's I'm like just pushing myself to.
So eating more burgers.
Yeah.
Part of the
eating more burgers.
Heart.
Yeah. I do like burgers a lot though. In that moment, I'm also really weird with, so losing my appetite has also made me weird with like meat. I'm not vegan at all. I'm from Texas. Like I love steak, burgers, hot dog, like all of it. But I don't know why. If I see like a bug while I'm eating,
done.
Yeah, done. Like gagging, can't eat. If I see my own hair near my food that I'm eating, can't do it.
You have a lot of hair.
And I have a lot of hair. It's fake, but.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
It's like extensions. They're like put in. I'm so sorry. It's not all fake, but.
It's a mix of.
There's.
See. I had no idea.
Thank you.
Okay,
yeah, see, I'm like,
we keep
learning.
We keep learning more about Rhegan.
But
So then, now that you have a large social media following, and you're doing this full time, and you live in the beautiful city of lost souls, how do you feel about those people that were mean to you in school?
Can I say, like, I can like
say
cuss,
what you can curse, say whatever you want.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. But I honestly move with grace. Like there's so many people who I can literally, I remember exact words they said to me in high school that still now, it like hurt my feelings really bad, and it was really mean.
You just told me, you just quoted your YouTube video.
What?
You said like, and what I said was, I don't know if this shirt is gonna look good on me because I'm petite or petite. I don't know how to say that. You just quoted, so they did some damage.
Yeah, they did some. Yeah, exactly. Did some damage. So now even though I did that, like it's not really that, because at the end of the day, I needed that to happen for me to be who I am right now. So I completely take that. That was, sorry, I quickly reacted, but
no, I think
every now and then though, I still get that, like, fuck y'all, like, fuck that.
It's good to have that. Like, I don't have people who hated on me or anything like that. in relation to my career of what I wanted to do. But I
Yeah.
did have bullies that make fun of me because I was like small and
Yeah.
little, and like I was a nerd. Like now I'm a grown man, but I used to be straight up nerd. I was all
Yeah.
into computers and cameras and stuff. I never got the girls that I wanted when I was little. I never got like respect from guys. I wasn't like strong or big.
I was same thing. Never
Yeah.
got the guys that I wanted. Like I was medium. I wasn't like anything, you know,
Yeah.
at that time.
It's interesting. And now,
Yeah.
like, at least for me, like, I'm way ahead of all the people in my high
Yeah,
school. Like,
yeah.
just the matter of that I'm in America because everyone is back in Cuba. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, you're in Cuba.
Yeah.
And now
And you're like, I mean, LA, you know.
yes. And not like we're
Yeah.
doing pretty
yeah,
well.
like in a great spot.
Yes. So it's interesting. I still think it's good to have a little bit of fuel towards people that dislike you or you
Yeah.
dislike them.
Yeah, there's this like thing where it's like, oh, like everything happens for a reason, like don't regret things, don't whatever, but like I completely agree with what you said. Like it is okay to be hurt by something and to not just let people like, oh, it's fine, or to like throw it over. It's almost like people pleasing and being like, no, it's fine, but it's not fine. It was a really big part of my life and
Yeah.
still affects me to this day, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree fully.
What things do you think you're going to put your attention towards in the future? Tell me about that.
Podcast for sure.
Why?
I just always wanted a podcast. I think
But
that
you almost didn't come to this
almost
podcast.
didn't come. Okay, yeah, you did. Yeah, it's like, yeah, my car is not doing well. I'm sorry about that. Like I shouldn't
It's
have
okay.
lied.
I saw
should've-
through. I saw through the
know.
light
You're
straight
like,
up.
okay.
And I was like, I know that if you're saying that, something
There's a
else is
reason,
happening.
or- yeah.
Yes. So I was like, okay. I just kept working on other
Yeah.
things.
I'm glad that you didn't take it the wrong way, though.
I know I didn't, because I mean I met you and you're very sweet. So I'm like, she either her car really has problems, which in that case, I mean I have a car, I can drive you. And it was funny, you mixed up the date.
I know but also that's my sign that I like. That's why I came today, because I was like, you know what, I need to come. Like that. That was my come on.
Yeah. Well, so you want to start a podcast, and what is that gonna look like? What is that gonna be
I'm gonna call it On the Regular.
on the regular?
And
okay.
so I've always wanted to do podcasts. I think I'm just a conversationalist. I think that I can carry a conversation pretty well, or start a conversation pretty well. And then also I like to think that I'm pretty mature for my age, so I can talk about things that maybe someone younger won't be able to talk about or whatever. I think I can give good advice.
Well, you've been through some shit, so
I've
now
been through
you
some
can
shit,
talk
yeah.
about it. That's
Yeah.
one of the best things about going through
And I used
hardships.
to be a really miserable person, and so sorry to cut you off.
No, you didn't.
Okay. But I used to be a really miserable person in general. Like it showed through the way that I acted, which I never was a bad person. I was just someone who had been through shit and didn't know the right way to go about things.
When you say miserable, what do you mean specifically?
I just hated myself, honestly. I not hated myself in the way of like, oh, I hate myself, but more of like, I genuinely was like, I do not like who I am. I don't like how I look. I don't like how I act. I don't like how I feel like people perceive me. And I feel like I'm putting an image out there for them to perceive me as.
Were you unhappy with the image of yourself that you were portraying, or with the real you that you weren't able to fully express?
That part, yeah.
So you didn't like...
I knew that I had more to me, and I wasn't letting people see the good parts of me.
Why do you think you were doing that?
I was just blocking myself in, like walls up, wasn't letting anyone like actually get to know me. I had a friend, one of my best friends, who like just fought for me and like stuck with me, even though I like wasn't fully always treating. I mean, there was a lot going on with that situation, but I wasn't always treating her the best that I could have. And she like fought for me once, and it took her just someone in general fighting for me once for me to be like, I'm worth fighting for. And so from there on, I was like, and then the whole relationship thing too, I was like, I do not want to be perceived as this person. Like, this is not me. So the same day that I woke up and was like, I can't do this anymore, was the same day that I was like, me, like just me. I'm still learning and growing as a person, but at least give myself out there and like open up the walls and just let people in. And it's worse if I have the walls up. Like nothing's gonna go the way that I want it to go. My life's not gonna go in the direction that I want my life to go if I'm not being me in general. And that goes for everything. Like if you're not acting with good intent, it's gonna come right back around, and karma's a bitch, you know? Yeah. So I think I just got really tired of karma throwing punches at me, and I was like, fuck, like it's my time. I'll just do it now, you know? And then I'm like, good. Yeah.
Well, it's great that you were able to see that and give it a try.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we're all trying to be better. We're all trying to be more. With me, sometimes I'm just afraid that I'm not enough.
I'm the same way.
I have big dreams, and you know, I want to make big movies. I want to be a huge director, and like what I want is very difficult, and it's also not guaranteed. It's not normal.
Yeah. I'm in the same position. Like nothing that I'm doing right now is guaranteed at all.
Yeah.
You know, so I completely get that. I'm the same way with like never feeling like enough, not even just for other people, but like for myself. Like I set really skyrocketed high standards for myself, and I used to beat myself up for it a lot because I was like, I'm never good enough. Like I'm only going to feel worse and worse if I don't switch my mentality. And I still never feel like I'm good enough, but I've learned to separate that being like a bad thing to like using that as motivation of like, if I'm going to constantly be setting the bar higher, like I just need to keep hitting these, you know, like all I can do is move forward. And the mentality is like, that's just how I am. Like, I don't think that that's something I can change about myself. Think about it in a positive note of, I like growing. I like doing these big things. I have big dreams. Like some people don't have big dreams. Some people like don't care, you know? So at least I care. And if I care, I might as well care full extent, you know?
Yeah. As long as you see that as yourself growing and not putting yourself down for not hitting like crazy expectations. Yeah, that's definitely something that is going to be really helpful. And I think you get that with age too. And especially in the industry that you're in, you're supposed to grow really fast, really big, really quick. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. But think about it. You have been doing this for 7 years. So
yeah, it's been a long time.
You need another 7 years. So I'm really happy that I was really happy that you were reading Atomic Habits, that you were trying the challenge, and you were trying to like build consistency and all that for yourself. I think that's going to separate you from a lot of other people. And it's also going to help you a lot in your life in general for other things.
Oh, completely agree, honestly. Thank you. Because I'm already seeing results from that, honestly. I used to, same thing. Like I used to really not like myself, and now all the things that I didn't like about myself, I'm like, it's good that I want to do all these things. And like, it took me 7 years to have my first viral video, but that means why would I not work hard for the next 7 years if I know it took that long and it still happened? That doesn't mean it's not going to happen if it's taking a long time. So it gives me persistence, and I think that's what separates me from, not to say I'm like anything, like there's other people too, I'm just saying in general, but I think that's what separates me from other people is the fact that like I'm willing to put the work in, and I'm okay with failing a million times and trying a million times, because that's what it's about. And I know that because I went through it. Yeah.
So I'm curious. Tell me about your tattoos.
Oh no.
I'm a big fan of tattoos. I made a movie about tattoos.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I have
cool.
My film on Apple TV, Literary Ink, is all about tattoos and wizards and Harry Potter and all that. So I'm a tattoo connoisseur. So tell me some stories about your tattoo. What is this style called? Patchwork.
Yeah,
okay.
So it's very patchy. I will eventually get a filler, probably something like what's on my hands with the stars, just mix in here. Most of my tattoos have meaning. So this is Mac Miller, an artist.
Weird choice.
Very random.
Yeah. So you really like Mac Miller?
So I really like Mac Miller because growing up, that was one of my dad and my older brother's favorite artists. And so
your dad?
Mac Miller? My dad's cool. Yeah, he's cool. Like mom and dad are divorced, complete different people. My mom was like strict and rules and plans, and then my dad was like, fuck it, like let's just do whatever. Miller fan. Yeah. So almost every morning in the car, and every time I would be in his car in general, he would be playing Mac Miller. So from there on, I just really liked his music. Honestly, I don't know if I would, oh, I guess I could say that with everything. I feel like I connect everything that I like with memories from my past, or like good memories from my past. So that's kind of the mood board that we have for my arm.
Yeah, I'm curious about the Ferrari.
This is Frank Ocean's song, White Ferrari. Honestly, just really good song. I just love this song a lot, and I listened to it a lot, like coming out of high school when I was first blowing up. It's like a sad song, and I used to see it that way, but I used to love it. Like that was a song that I was like, if I want to get a cry out, White Ferrari's on. And then listening to it while I was going through the breakup, I would listen to it every single night and like go to sleep crying to it. But I saw him at Coachella and he performed the song live, and it was a good moment. But now I listen to it and it's like happy and it's good, and it's like I got past that, remembering how bad it was. I'm like complete different mindset. So this one's super special. This is I think the only random one that I have.
That's the beginning of something, no?
It's just a mouth.
Just a mouth.
Just a mouth.
Is it your mouth? Someone's mouth?
Just a mouth. I saw a mouth like this on Pinterest one time, and I was like, I'm going to sketch it when I was in high school. And then I just got the sketch on my arm.
So that's the only one that we don't have any meanings or purpose or anything.
This one's my mom and I drink.
Is that a bag of tea?
Yeah. My mom and I drink sleepy time tea every night back at home in Texas. So just for her. This is for one of my dogs, that my childhood dog, Daisy. Just some daisies. My dad calls me Pooh Bear. So I got Winnie the Pooh. He actually just got Winnie the Pooh tattooed on his heart like last week.
For you?
For me, yeah, with like a jar that says Rhegan. Sweet. Very sweet. I'm really, really, really close with my dad.
That's great. What is the 75 and the 77?
My parents' birth years. This is my dad's. Sorry, Mom, but I put it on my right because I'm like, Dad's always right. Literally that's how I know. That's why I'm like, oh yeah, Dad's, Mom's. I have a good relationship with my mom too, though.
Yeah.
But it was tough whenever I'm her only daughter, and I'm my dad's only daughter too. So the relationships are very different because my mom's like, you're my only daughter, like good grades, you have 4 brothers, so like you need to be disciplined and like on top of it. And my dad was like, you're my only daughter, so you're my princess, let's go shopping. And
that's great. You get the balance of both
it was
things.
good though. Yeah, and I like how I was raised too. Like I'm glad that I think how I think and I have the morals that I do and the standards that I do because they set those up for me.
Do you want to have kids?
Yeah, I want a big family.
A big family? How many?
I want 4 boys and a girl if I could choose.
So you're going to just repeat what you
repeat what I
wanted to do the same. I have 2 brothers, so we're 3 boys. And I always wanted to have like 3 boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not happening. No, I have a boy and a girl.
It's already,
It's already like factory's
still have
closed.
Factory's closed.
Well, nah, maybe.
Okay.
Another podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
I wanted a big family. I wanted to have like 3 kids. Let's wait until you have the first one.
I know.
Once you're like no sleep for 4 months, then you're like, oof.
Yeah.
But kids are amazing.
Yeah.
Like I love my kids. It's like the best thing. I'm happy that you want to have kids.
Yeah, I love kids. I do. And also, I mean, I want a big family. I'm from Texas, so I grew up in a big family. I like how it shaped me. Like it's a very loving family. Obviously there's problems in every family and whatever, but overall I had a really good childhood. Like I had 4 brothers. I was constantly outside when I was a kid. I had people to play hide and seek with, sharks and minnows. Like,
what do your brothers think about your TikTok and social media and all that? I bet they're not that very happy about it.
No, like they think it's cool sometimes. And then I started posting for like a little period of time, like thirst trappy videos on there. And yeah, after that, it was like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, I just don't. I still have a brother that's in high school, and all of his friends.
All his friends are like, they're going after you.
Yeah, he doesn't even like to bring up the combo anymore. But my parents are like very, very proud of me, and they didn't want me to move to LA. I went behind their backs when I was visiting LA and bought an apartment. Which was at 18, and then went back home and I was there for a month and then moved out here. Yeah, they're very against it. My mom was like, take all of your shit, and like if you leave anything, then it's going in the trash. Like,
Oh,
that's
wow.
that.
So
Yeah.
mom was tough.
Yeah. She was like, yeah, it was bad. My dad drove me to LA in a U-Haul. He didn't want me to move to LA, but he was like, if you're going to do it, I'm not going to have you do it alone.
That's
Like,
good.
yeah, I want you to do it in the,
Man, that's really good of your dad. Like,
yeah.
just so you know,
No,
that is
yeah.
very hard to do.
I know.
Like, if my daughter is doing something that I don't want her to do, and then I still help her, oof, kudos to your dad.
Yeah. He's also like, he saw more than anyone me pursuing social media. Like, because at his house, it was like I could be louder, I could stay up later, I could eat junk food at whatever time, I could eat cereal at 2 a.m. So I was always making content at his house. I didn't have like any like bedtime or anything because trust was just like there.
We'll do whatever you want.
Yeah. And so what happened? I was filming most of my content there. And so I would like put him in my videos and stuff too. Or he would walk in my room and I'm like, I'm filming a YouTube video. Like, get out. And so he knew how bad I wanted it. And he's more of like an empath. So he knew like this was it. Like if I had decided to go, because he knows I love family and I love being in Texas with my family. So he knew if I was thinking about doing that, then like that was probably the best decision for me. He like trusted that, which is, I know, is really hard. So
Yeah, that's really
love him.
good. So that's really interesting that. So why, if you had such a good relationship with your dad, what was missing there that you had such a hard time in a romantic relationship?
I mean, that's a really good question because my dad treated me like a princess. I don't know. I think I had the example of my dad just treating, like setting the example for how I should be treated. That one thing about my past relationship that my dad, I actually, not in a weird, this is going to come off so weird. I'm like, I probably shouldn't say it because I just know where people are going to take it and it's not what I'm saying at all. But my ex had a lot of qualities, like characteristics that are personality traits that my dad has in terms of like, I don't even know, like being protective and being like very lovey. Like I get my loviness from my dad. Little things that he's also from Texas, so maybe that's why, but he's also from Texas too, my ex. So I don't know. I think that was why I was like I had that comfort of like, this is someone from like my home and like, whatever, that I was just overlooking all the bad things. And it was like, oh no, it's fine. Like this person loves me. From my dad, like obviously genuinely loves me because it's my dad. But on the other side, I was mistaking that presentation of what love's supposed to look like. And I was taking the opposite direction of like, I wanted that to be genuine so bad that it was genuine on my part, and I, stuck with that, but it can't just be genuine on my part,
Yeah. What other places have you traveled in the US?
Honestly, I haven't been on vacation in 3 years now. I haven't been on vacation since a week before I had my first viral video, which I should get into that.
Well, this is your vacation.
This is every day's a vacation.
Yeah.
Genuinely though, like I will,
Yeah.
I don't know, a lot of people I think get like sick of LA really fast, but I really, really, really like it. Maybe not, I won't raise a family here, I don't think, but what was the question? I'm sorry.
Yeah. What places have you traveled to that you like? Or I guess, oops, your phone just fell.
It's okay. I'm like, can I just leave it there?
Yeah, you can just leave it there.
Yeah, I'm just it's cool.
So travel. Let's
travel. I've been to Idaho.
That doesn't count.
No, I've been to Hawaii.
Hawaii is really cool.
Hawaii was awesome. I went to Maui. Yeah, it was really awesome. Like beautiful, perfect vacation. I went to Costa Rica right before I had like blown up. Costa Rica was awesome. It's honestly probably my favorite place that I've been to. We were just in like an all-inclusive resort, but it was fun. I mean, also it was my first time being able to drink like with my parents because I was 18, or I was about to turn 18, but I like Florida. I mean, that's not really like
You like Florida. That's hilarious. There's a lot of Cubans in Miami, but
I've never been to Miami though.
Okay, but Miami's like the place.
Oh, I'll be there for my 21st birthday.
Great.
Yeah, I'll be there. But I'm holding off because I'm like, if I'm going to go, I'm going to want to go the right way and like do it the right way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miami's interesting. I've only visited, but everyone thinks because I'm Cuban, everyone thinks I'm from Miami, which it doesn't count. Like I'm from real Cuba, not from Miami. If you're from Miami, you're from Miami.
What did you think would like?
Yes. So there's lots of Cubans there, but it's really hot. Very nice city. For us, we have a very specific way of feeling about it because everyone who comes out of Cuba goes to Miami. So then everyone that is leaving Cuba doesn't want to go to Miami because that's the place where
The place to
everyone.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone is like, no, I don't want to be in
You want to be
Miami because I want to
different.
be better than everyone else. But
Yeah.
then everyone ends up being in Miami. So I don't think I would live there, but I have a lot of friends there. And it's
Yeah.
funny, like so many of my friends from when I was a kid live there. So it's very
I
interesting.
heard it's really fun environment though. Like it's fun and it's nice and it's like LA, but honestly like kind of a little bit prettier in certain areas.
Yeah, the thing that I love about here is that we have more variety of like nature and all that. And
Yeah, I
also
love
we
that
have
too.
like the movies. So to me as a filmmaker, just being here is
Yeah.
like
Like
unbelievable.
ideal. Yeah.
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 Have you done anything or do you want to do anything in film and TV and acting and all of that?
I
Or
say yes, but I haven't put any effort into it. I think I'm like so many things at one time that I'm like, I don't know. Like, I know if I pursued acting, I have to start taking acting classes, and there's a roster of things that I would have to do, which I'm not opposed to. But I'm like, let me work out my roster now and then move forward. Because I'm like, ideally, if I do really well on like YouTube, for example, and like that becomes something that I'm like really being able to like have a lot of financial freedom with, which I like, I'm not saying social media already isn't, but a different amount and whatever, then I'm like, I could just get one of those opportunities from that, you know? Like, it could, Emma Chamberlain, for example. You know Emma Chamberlain? Oh, you don't?
the name sounds familiar.
She's a
What?
YouTuber. She blew up like pretty fast and became really big. She was just at the Met Gala, I think, or something. Maybe not the Met
Okay.
Gala.
Is that the red? Does she have red hair? No.
She wasn't at the Met Gala. I don't. She was at some award thing that was really big, and she's like interviewing celebrities. Like she's gotten her. She's an A-list celebrity.
Okay, but not an
Yeah.
actress.
But not an actress. But she easily, I'm sure, could get an acting role. That's what she wanted to do, just from people would want to see it, you know? So I'm like, if I just work on the stuff that I want to work on, then I don't know.
What do you think you? So you said the podcast. What else are you interested in? And like, if you could work on anything for this year, what would that be?
It's going to be like the most boring answer ever. Like literally YouTube. Just
Why?
build up my YouTube. I think like a huge part of me is like I just wanted that so bad when I was a kid. Like it wasn't TikTok. TikTok wasn't around. It wasn't Musically. Like it was YouTube. Like I wanted to be a YouTuber.
YouTuber.
Yeah. Because I used to watch videos of people like cleaning their room and packing and stuff like that to give myself inspiration. And now I make those videos. So I'm like, it would just be a great
Yeah,
full
I have
circle.
a special place in my heart for YouTube. I've been making videos forever and never blown up.
Yeah.
I did have one video that went kind of viral, but still, I work on YouTube. I mean, in a way, YouTube pays all my bills
Yeah.
because I produce a show that is a massive talk show that helps so many people and helped me a lot. So
I haven't even asked you about that.
yeah, it's called Impact Theory with Tom Bellew. So it's a talk show that he started. So Tom and Lisa, they created Quest bars, the Quest protein bars, and then they sold that company for like $1 billion. And then they started a studio and they started a talk show, just interviewing the most amazing people you could think of.
Yeah.
So I started watching that show when I was in film school. And I said, well, I want to go to LA and I want to work with these people because they started a studio and now we have a video game division and comic books and we're developing
Yeah.
films. So I wanted to be a filmmaker and work with them. And I found a way to make that happen. And now I'm the producer of the main show.
Oh, cool. I like your story. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yes.
Bump it.
Yes.
Cool.
So
Kind of the same thing. Like you see like something and then you're like, I'm just going
Went
to keep
after
working
it.
for it. And then,
yeah,
You
but
get
I
it.
want to also have my own YouTube channel
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
that is big. And I started doing like vlogs when I was in college, and I would do some videos and then stop, and then I started doing
Yeah.
a podcast and I stopped. I did some short films, and that's one video that really did really well. It
like
was-
experimenting. Like you were,
I was just trying, and I guess it's really hard for us as creative people. We like to try different things, and you see a video. So today you see this video of this person, they're doing this. It's really cool and it has 2 million views. I want to do that. And then you start doing it, but you don't stick to it. Or it's something that you want to try and experiment and have fun with, but you don't want to do. For example, I love vlogs. My brother loves vlogs. We are not going to make vlogs
like
every
vloggers.
day.
Yeah.
That is so, and that's why those people like Casey Neistat and all those people, they blow up because they spend years and years and years putting in the work, so they deserve it.
Yeah.
So I shared that goal with you too. Like on my goals, I want to hit, like my channel is tiny, so I want to hit 100K, and then my ultimate goal, I want to hit 1 million followers, and with that I can die happy.
Yeah.
But
I'm
also
kind of the same way. I'm like, if I had 1 million, I haven't set like a far goal, because I'm like, if I do, I just like let it work out itself. Like, don't start putting numbers on it. Like, it's fine.
No, I'm completely opposite. I put a number on it. I try to like strategize and find ways to hit that number.
Yeah.
But to me, like 1 million followers for myself would be crazy. The funny thing is, like, I know that I will get it. So it's going to be interesting, like seeing this video. And that's also why I started the podcast.
That's so funny you said that, because that's how I feel with like everything that I say. Like, I can confidently speak about social media and like how I feel like my place is on social media and where I'm going to go, because I'm putting the work in. Like, I'm going to put the work in, and I know that at the end of the day, if you're consistent and you work hard towards something that you want, you are going to get it.
Yeah. So what are some myths that people, or misconceptions that people have about being famous on TikTok? And
I'm so going to get hate for what I'm going to say.
Yes. So, and before you say that, at this moment, how many followers you have right now, so we can put in perspective. So when you're talking, people know, like.
Yeah. Should I like put all of my accounts together?
Let's separate them if you can.
4.4 million on my main account on TikTok. Almost 500K on my spam account on TikTok, 300K on my mukbang account on
your
TikTok.
What?
Mukbang.
What is that? Sorry, I'm old.
You eat in front of the camera.
Mukbang
or mukbang. People call it a mukbang, but I'm pretty sure it's
How do you spell that?
Mukbang. Mukbang, where people like do like eat in the microphone.
And how many followers?
Almost 300K.
So I need to start eating in front of the camera so I can get more followers?
That was something random that I did. I was filming like a day in my life, and I just ate, and everyone was like, "Oh, I love the way you eat." And I was like, "I'll do it." Like,
okay,
why not?
So 300K on the eating account.
300K on the eating account. I have. I'm about to hit 120K subscribers on YouTube.
That's the big one.
Yeah, I just got my plaque too.
Yo, congrats.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm like, it doesn't feel real. Sorry to like go off track, but I just had my aha moment for like blowing up on social media like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. What happened? You went somewhere and someone recognized you or something?
I was laying in bed and I was watching someone's YouTube video, because I still watch YouTube videos, and I'm like one for creative ideas, and then also I enjoy watching YouTube. Yeah. What happened? Oh, I was laying in bed and I was watching someone's YouTube video, and just being completely honest, I was really high, and I was sitting there and I was like tripping out while I was watching it. And then I like stood up and I was like, oh, and I just started like bawling, and I was like, oh my God, like this is like what I'm doing right now is like people do that for me. And like, it's a lot of people, you know, like that's a lot. Like, dang, like people will sit and watch beginning to end of my videos and enjoy them. And then I think about it even more, and I'm like, I really let people, like what people say, get to me, and how people treat me, or et cetera, like that, none of that even matters. Like, I have XYZ amount of people who show up for me every day. So from there on, like the second I had that moment, literally a few days after that is when I started 75 Hard. Like, I was like, I'm about to show up for these people too, because that was my first like, oh my God, like I did it. Like I don't know, it was like little kid me was like, oh my gosh, like this is me, you know?
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was a good moment though.
I bet.
But I still haven't fully processed at all that. Like, I'll be walking on the sidewalk and someone will notice me and I'm like, oh, hey, like I'm so awkward. Like anyone anyone who has met me can testify for the fact that I am really awkward, but I own it, and it's okay to be awkward because it is awkward, you know? Like it's good. It's a good thing that I think it's awkward and it's not normal to me, I think.
I think that's amazing because that way, that way you can show that you're not stuck up. You're not thinking that you're better than anyone. You're you, and you're still like a little girl from Texas who wants to make
Just wanted
videos
to do
and have
YouTube.
fun. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And that's the last account?
Oh, and then Instagram, I have 252,000.
That's huge.
Yeah, which is pretty good for, it's hard to transfer followers from any other platform to Instagram.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that means people want to see what you're posting. And, you know, I'm like, not everyone really cares.
So what are some misconceptions that people have about your life that you hear or
I'm going to get hate for this because every time someone says something like this, they get hate for it. And this is not me discrediting anyone's work at all. But I think that people think social media, which for some people it is. Some people blew up randomly on social media. I mean, I guess technically everyone did, but some people blow up overnight and then they can post lip sync videos and like make bands off of that. And then there's other people who have to set up like a professional camera and like do a food cooking video and then like go through and edit it and add the music, and maybe that'll take them 6 hours to edit the video, you know? Or me, for example, like when I edit my YouTube videos, sometimes it'll take me a week of sitting there every day for 8 hours because I'm still trying to expand and put my best out there. So sometimes I have to look up how to do blah, blah, blah on Final Cut Pro.
I still do it, and I've been doing this for like 15 years. And we still sit down and have to Google tutorials and stuff.
And that takes time too. And then it takes you 2 hours to just figure out how to like cut something the way you wanted it to, or like add a fade or whatever. But I think the biggest misconception is that social media is easy. Like it's easy to do social media, or it's like, because it's not always easy. Because social media is like very complex. There's so much to it. It's not just making videos, but also what content are you making? How many accounts do you have? How many times are you posting a day on each of those accounts? What mental work are you putting in behind the scenes? Do you have a social life? Also, like, money is not consistent. I mean, for some people it is. For people who have 25 million and get 40 million views each TikTok video that like are constantly blowing up, but I think...
But that still requires managers, teams, lawyers looking at the contract.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's even management that, like, not me, I have great management, so I'm not for anyone, but there's even management who will just sign people and, like, not give a fuck, and then they're stuck in a contract, and they don't have management for a year because that management that they signed to has bigger creators that they want to tend to, that they're not focused on how much you're making or if you need to pay rent or whatever. They're focused on who's bringing in them the biggest bag, you know?
And also, most people think that all the influencers are making millions of dollars.
Yeah, and that's not true. No, that's not true at all. I mean, there are influencers who are making millions of dollars, but someone could have 400K. Actually, I will say it from my exact perspective. My main account, I have 4.4 million. On my spam account, I have almost 500K. I don't make money on my spam account. I'm not like signed up in the creator fund. I'm not like doing promos and stuff. But if I did, I guarantee, just solely based off engagement right now, that I could be making a lot more on my spam account that has 500K than my 4.4 million account.
Because of the engagement?
Because of the engagement. And also...
How much would that how would you get the money? Because if you sign up for the fund account, that's not going to give you that much. So how would you make the money?
It's through like brand deals and sound promos and...
Sound promos? What is that?
Like using artists who want to like blow up their music, or it's promoting their song.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How much would people pay for that?
Oh, I can't talk about that.
Okay.
Because people will further that into another discussion.
Okay. But in average, like, is there a way, if you throw out a number, what's an average that an account with 500K with the engagement that you're getting, how much do you think a month would an account like that make?
I'm like, it's a hard question too, because I could have 500K on my spam account and be making more than someone else who has 500K, and we could have the same engagement. That's another thing. Like, I'll answer the question though, but that's another thing is there's also like brands who will take creators and stuff out to trips, or exclusive like getaways and stuff like that, and it'll be the roster of like people going. It could be people who have 25 million, and they can also be people who have 100K or
and they all
10K.
go together.
And they all go together, yeah. And there's usually like not the best comments when brands do that, because a lot of the times influencers brands will just bring whoever. Like, it would be, this is a random thought, but it would be really nice if people or brands took into consideration like who's actually going to make content and who's going to like make the most out of it. It's just kind of like a tip, because then they're going to get more out of it as well, and they're not just taking influencers on a trip to take them on a trip, you know?
Yeah, well, usually for those big brands, they have a marketing department, they have an influencer person, they hire another agency. That agency only has to show that, oh, we have this 10
this
names
total
that
amount
are
of
coming, this many views, and like it's very wishy-washy on like
exactly
results and all that. So it's very tricky. I'm involved in a lot of marketing meetings and marketing stuff. So I'm fascinated by it, and
I am too. I took social media marketing when I was in high school. I like the marketing side of it as well, especially because I'm literally like basically constantly advertising myself, you know, on social media. So
what would you recommend to like someone starting out? They have their account, they have 10K followers, and they're trying to like make a little bit of money. Like, what tips would you give them?
In terms of making money, or in terms of just like furthering their career on social media?
I think making money. Let's talk. Everyone is going to talk about like,
well, I do have good advice though that everyone or no one says. People say like be consistent and like throw out content on TikTok, because you can get viral that way. But the best way that you're going to get followers on TikTok, which is going to give you more money, is to post with intent, like to film with intent, to edit with intent, to figure out the absolute best version of a video that you can do, that you want to do, like doing what you want to do. People just throw out videos and they blow up for doing these things that they do not want to do, and then they're stuck having to do that because they're afraid to like do what they actually want to do. So I would say like get ahead of that and just go ahead and start doing what you want to do. That way you can never get bored of work or never get burnt out on what you're doing, because you're doing what you love, you know. And
did you make any mistakes like starting out that then you had to like fix?
Like, yeah. I mean, I started with transitions and I love doing transitions, but when I was a kid, like it was always lifestyle content. Luckily, I made a spam account and was posting my personality on there, and then people actually liked it, and I thought I was very unlikable. So I just got more and more into it, and I was like, I post more on my spam account than on my main account, because transitions take me 6 hours of sitting down to film, while a lifestyle video, it's like so easy and it's so fun and it's like what I want to do. But I wouldn't say I've made any mistakes, because every decision that I've made, I completely own. Like, but that comes from me being content with where I am. I'm sure. I mean, I've made mistakes, but I own all the mistakes I've made, and it's nothing so big that it would be. I've always moved with the best and like good intentions. So I can't name something that I was like truly like, oh, I'm a bad person for that, or I went about it the wrong way. I feel like I like was pretty smart about how, I mean, I took all the classes in high school that would help me with social media. And then I did good on I had my first viral video, and then I wasn't myself for a while, but I was being open about it. And then like now I'm like finding myself making content I like. I don't.
That's awesome. Well, Rhegan, if you could do anything in the world and time was not an issue and money was not an issue, what would your dream life look like?
I want a nice, like from the jump, I want a modern house. The inside, I want it to be like simplistic modern, so very bare, only things that you need out, like just furniture. I don't really want like a lot of decor. I want a sports pool, like I want that.
And what do you want to do every day?
I'm like, that's such a hard question. This is a hard question. I don't know where I was going with like the whole house thing. Like, what? If I could be anywhere, I'd be in this like a bare house. I actually don't have an answer to that question. I don't have an answer to that question because I've never thought about that. I think that I've learned that anything that you want, you're going to have to work for. And so that question's kind of like always been blocked out of my mind. Like, I can't think of, because it's always going to be, you know, that's always going to be a thing you're going to have to worry about because things cost money and the things you want, you have to work for. I don't have an answer. What's your answer?
I want to make movies.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like if I could be doing anything? Like,
yeah.
Oh, what I'm doing right now? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm doing what I want to be doing. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Of course. I'm a talker. You're going to have to cut it off at some point.
Yeah. No. We're going to see your podcast soon. So
yeah, right?
Let's see how that goes. Awesome.
I'm nervous for this one.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please check out this other episode with my friend Jeffrey Zhang. He's a really cool creator. He has an amazing TikTok account, and I think you're going to love that interview.